About a month ago, we gave our take on the 7 most underpaid players in world football. It's currently our 6th most viewed video ever, so we were going to follow it up with the 7 most overpaid. I drew up a draft, and every single one of them played in China, and it didn't make for particularly interesting reading. Instead then, we thought we'd go for the 7 worst players on over £100,000 a week. Yeah, so they mostly play in China too, but we thought it was interesting enough to turn into a video this time. Not so long ago, a 100 grand a week plus contract was reserved only for the top players. When Sol Campbell left Tottenham to join Arsenal, he became the world's first player to hit that sum. Even today, the likes of Jan Oblak, Toby Alderweireld and Andrea Barzagli earn less than £100,000 a week. Now for some players who earn more. Here are our 7 worst players on over £100,000 a week. Graziano Pelle. Let's get things straight. There are some decent players in this 7, but £100,000 a week? That's some serious money. And you can forget about over £100,000 a week here, as Graziano Pelle is on more than 200 grand a week. The former Southampton man who left the Premier League for the Chinese Super League back in 2016 is reportedly picking up a weekly pay packet of some £231,000. That is nothing short of insane. Pelle bagged 30 goals in 81 games for the Saints and has a decent record for Italy. He's also 32 years old, never really made it in Serie A, and turns slower than milk. To put Pelle's wages into perspective, he is earning more than the likes of Gianluigi Buffon, Sergio Aguero, and Eden Hazard. Dario Conca. A man who is more famous for his salary than his footballing talents, in Europe at least, Dario Conca reportedly became the 3rd highest paid footballer on the planet in 2011, behind only Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. Today, he is believed to be earning around £137,000 a week at Shanghai SIPG, although he is currently on loan at Brazilian side Flamengo. Conca is a diminutive and talented attacking midfielder, but he's 34 years old and has never even won a cap for Argentina. Whilst he scored 33 goals in 65 games for Guangzhou Evergrande, he has managed only 13 in 46 for Shanghai SIPG, and thoroughly deserves his place in this 7. Carlos Tevez. The best paid player in this 7, Carlos Tevez has flopped since his December 2016 move to Shanghai Shenhua. Reports of a contract worth in excess of £600,000 a week seem to have been a little over-exaggerated, but the former Manchester United man is believed to be earning in excess of £290,000 a week in China's most populous city. In fairness, Tevez was once a brilliant player. Strong, industrious, and explosive, he was a defender's worst nightmare. During his time at Boca Juniors, Corinthians, West Ham, Juventus, and the 2 Manchester clubs, Tevez was a real menace. But he hasn't made that kind of impact in China's rapidly emerging Super League. In more than 12 months, Tevez has made just 20 appearances and scored only 4 goals. Demba. This might seem like a harsh inclusion, but it would be disingenuous of us to leave Demba out of this 7. Another ex-Premier League striker who has discovered untold riches in China, Bar is probably best remembered in England for his time with Newcastle United. Oh, and that goal against Liverpool, of course. The retired Senegalese international always had an impressive goals-to-minute ratio, and he signed for Shanghai Shenhua in the summer of 2015. Bar made a tremendous start to life in China, scoring prolifically, but he suffered a horrific leg break in July 2016. Since then, he has played only 24 minutes of football 10 months ago, and sadly has to feature here. Robin van Persie. Much like Carlos Tevez, Robin van Persie was once a brilliant player, but this 7 is based on current ability rather than prior achievements. With that in mind, Van Persie has to be up there with the worst players on over £100,000 a week right now. A 2-time Premier League Golden Boot winner, Van Persie had a couple of outstanding seasons with Arsenal and Manchester United, and a handful more decent ones. The Netherlands' all-time top scorer, Van Persie has great technique and can be clinical in front of goal. All the ingredients then for a player who can still mix it with the best well into his 30s. Well, not quite. For one reason or another, the former gunner has deteriorated rapidly in the last couple of seasons. As Fenerbahce continue to fork out £120,000 a week to retain his services, Van Persie has played only 3 games for the club and his country this season. In his last 20 matches, the once prolific forward has bagged only 3 goals. OLIVIO de ROSA. The second uncapped South American in this 7, OLIVIO de ROSA, better known as Ivo, is one of the most vastly overpaid footballers on the planet. A 31-year-old attacking midfielder, Ivo is at best a decent footballer. It's hard to get one's head around quite why Beijing Ren are paying him more than £116,000 a week. He had an indistinct spell in Brazil's second tier before a move to South Korea. He then moved to China in 2015, joining his current club in China's second tier in November 2016. Ivo has scored 6 goals in 25 games for the Beijing club. Jiang Ning. In top spot and making every other player in this 7 look like a bona fide bargain is Jiang Ning. The worst paid player in this 7, picking up a measly £115,000 a week, Ning is also the worst player, and by some distance too. A versatile footballer who can play as an attacking midfielder, a striker, a central midfielder, or on either wing, he isn't particularly good at any of them. Aged 31, Ning has had a decent career in the Chinese Super League, but he is by far the best paid domestic player in the division. Ning swapped Guangzhou R&F for Hebei China Fortune in 2016 for reported £6.2 million, where he now has the likes of Ezequiel Lavezzi and Gervinho as teammates. Ning's extortionate fee and salary can only be put down to the division's homegrown player rule, with Hebei China Fortune having the 4 best paid Chinese players all on their books. Ning has bagged 3 goals in 33 games since joining his new club, but still earns more than Harry Kane. So that's it for our 7, but a few honourable mentions can be found in the video description. Thanks for watching, give us a like if you enjoyed the video, and don't forget to subscribe to HITC Sevens.